What if I told you that the moment you finally stop thinking about her, she'll start thinking about you more than ever? It sounds impossible, but this is the paradox of attraction most men spend their whole lives misunderstanding. The truth is simple. The moment you stop needing her is the moment your energy shifts, and she feels it. Letting go of a woman who once felt like the center of your world is brutal. Your heart still remembers her warmth. Your mind still replays the old moments. And deep down, a part of you still wants to believe that maybe if she came back, things would finally be different. But here's the reality. When she comes back, it's not a reunion, it's a test. A test of whether you've actually changed, or whether you're still the same man she walked away from. She doesn't return because she suddenly realized your worth. Not yet. She returns because your silence forced her to confront something she never wanted to face. The loss of the emotional power she once held over you. Your detachment becomes a mirror, and she hates what she sees. A version of you she no longer controls. And that's where the shift begins. When you stop chasing her, she starts chasing answers. When she can't read you, she starts feeling uncertainty. And uncertainty is the birthplace of attraction. Your calm becomes her confusion. Your silence becomes her fear. Your detachment becomes her curiosity. But this moment isn't about getting her back. It's about proving to yourself that you've evolved beyond the man who needed her validation to feel whole. So, before we dive into the real psychology of why she feels your detachment so intensely, let me ask you this. Drop a 1 if part of you still reacts emotionally when she reappears, or drop a 2 if you're ready to become the man who stays grounded no matter who comes or goes. Start this journey now. Like the video, subscribe to Stoic Station, and prepare yourself, because the next truth will change the way you see female psychology forever. 1. The moment she feels your detachment. What if I told you that the moment you finally stop thinking about her, she'll start thinking about you more than ever? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But it's the paradox of attraction that most men miss. The truth is, when you detach emotionally and stop needing her, that's when the shift happens. Letting go of someone you thought was the center of your world is incredibly hard. When you've poured your energy into them, built your life around their presence, and prioritized their feelings over your own, the idea of no longer being invested feels impossible. But here's where you find your power. When you stop chasing, when you stop seeking her approval, you start regaining control over your own life, and she'll feel it. She might not admit it, but the second you stop focusing on her, her world starts to change. Your energy shifts. Where you once centered your thoughts on her, now you focus on your own goals, peace, and growth. This isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about becoming the man who doesn't need to be validated by anyone. You've stepped into your own power, and as you do, her ego, which once thrived on your attention, starts to wither. Why does she start reaching out when you've finally moved on? It's not because she wants you back. It's because she's lost something she didn't even realize she needed. She's lost the reflection of herself she used to see in you. And that's what sends her spiraling. Her self-image was built in part on your admiration and attention. Now that it's gone, she starts questioning who she is and why she doesn't have the hold over you she once did. That's where the confusion and curiosity begin. The paradox of attraction most men don't realize is this. When you stop needing her validation, she feels the emotional power slip through her fingers. This isn't about love. It's about control. It's about the fear of being forgotten and the loss of influence. Your detachment becomes the mirror to her insecurities. It's not manipulative. It's just what happens when you stop seeking approval and start focusing on yourself. That's when curiosity builds. She wants to know why she no longer has the same hold over you. What you've done is simple yet profound. You've shifted the power dynamic. This isn't about her returning to you out of love. It's about her wondering if she's lost the emotional influence she once had over you. That's when the power truly changes hands. Take a moment to ask yourself, what do I feel when I no longer seek validation from others? Can you allow yourself to find peace in your own company? Ask yourself if your emotional independence can be the foundation for true strength. The power of your silence is real, brother, and it's waiting for you to embrace it fully. 2. Why she returns. The fear of losing her power over you. Her return isn't about love. It's about fear. Let that sink in for a moment. You might think she's coming back because she misses you, but the reality is much deeper. What's really driving her is the fear of losing control. The control she once had over your emotions. She's not seeking closure, not trying to patch things up. She's trying to test whether you still need her emotionally, because if you do, she holds the power. But if you don't, she feels the ground beneath her feet shifting. And that, brother, is when the fear sets in. When she reaches out, don't mistake it for a sign that she's been longing for you. The truth is, she's dipping her toes back into the water to see if you'll react the same way you used to. She's testing whether your emotional state is still tied to her actions, whether your value is still contingent on her presence. The moment you stop needing her to feel good about yourself, she starts questioning her influence. Now, here's where most men slip up. When she texts, they rush to respond. They think it's their chance to make things right, to fix the broken connection. But this, my friend, is where your power, or lack of it, is decided. The way you respond, or even whether you respond at all, determines whether you regain control or hand it right back to her. If you reply too quickly, if you come off eager or desperate, she'll know immediately that you're still emotionally available to her. She'll feel that she still has the upper hand. But when you resist the urge to rush back, when you give her message the time it needs to breathe, you shift the power dynamic entirely. You force her to face the uncomfortable truth. You've moved on. And that shift, my brother, is where everything changes. Be intentional with your response. Take your time. Don't overthink it. Don't over-explain. Silence, when used wisely, is not absence. It's strength. By waiting, by remaining composed, you force her to reflect on her own intentions. It's not about playing games. It's about showing her that you're no longer bound by the emotional chain she once held over you. When you do finally respond, keep it simple, calm, and measured. Let her wonder if you've truly moved on, and let her realize that you don't need her to complete your life. Take a moment to reflect on your own behavior. When someone from your past reaches out, what's your first reaction? Do you immediately try to reconnect, or do you let yourself remain grounded and in control of your own emotional state? The power is in your hands, brother. Don't forget that. 3. The strength of silence. What if I told you that silence, when mastered, is one of the most powerful forces in the world? It may seem counterintuitive, especially in a society that constantly encourages us to speak up, explain ourselves, and fight for what we want. But the truth is this: the strongest man is the one who doesn't feel the need to explain anything. His silence speaks volumes. You've been taught that silence is weakness, that holding back your words somehow makes you less than. But the reality is, silence, when used intentionally, is a declaration of strength. When she comes back, don't feel the need to open up and pour your emotions out. Your silence isn't a void. It's your way of saying, I'm fine without you. You've learned to live without her, and that is exactly what she's struggling with. When you withhold your emotions and reactions, something powerful happens. She feels the weight of your composure. She realizes that the emotional control she once had over you has vanished. She's used to getting a reaction, but now she's met with calm. That realization forces her to reconsider everything. It makes her question, why isn't he reacting the way he used to? Why isn't he chasing me anymore? And in that pause, she begins to feel the shift, not just in your behavior, but in her own emotional landscape. She'll try to break through your silence. She may send you casual texts, push your buttons, or do whatever she can to get a response from you. Don't fall for it. Your silence isn't just about withholding information. It's about maintaining control over your own energy. You're not allowing her to pull you back into the same emotional pattern you once had. Instead, you are showing her that your peace isn't for sale, that your emotional state no longer depends on her approval. Let her feel the shift. Every time you remain silent, you communicate that your emotional state is no longer dictated by her. You've mastered your own peace. Silence isn't emptiness, it's strength. It's the ability to stand firm in your own truth without needing to explain it. And the more you remain composed, the more she'll respect you. And the more respect she feels for you, the more attraction will naturally follow. Next time someone tests your emotional control, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, how can I maintain my peace in this situation? The more you practice this, the stronger your silence becomes, and the more it will command respect and attention. The power of silence is the power of control over yourself and your emotions. And once you own that power, you'll never feel the need to prove yourself again. 4. How to rebuild respect, the power of self-control. Respect is never regained by proving yourself. It's earned by staying grounded in who you are. When you focus on demonstrating your value to her, you lose sight of the fact that true respect comes from within. It's about how you see yourself, not how others perceive you. Most men believe that to win her respect, they need to show how much they care, how available they are, and how willing they are to please. But this couldn't be further from the truth. The real key to earning respect is not by trying to win her approval, it's by showing that you no longer need it. It's about standing firm in your own truth and showing that your emotional well-being is not dependent on her. This is when the true shift begins. When you stop trying to please her, that's when she starts seeing you as someone who commands respect. The contrast between who you were, someone who sought validation, and who you've become, someone who no longer seeks her approval, creates the spark of admiration. It's a shift that's undeniable. The more you let go of the need for her validation, the more you elevate your own presence. This is when she begins to see you in a new light. But here's where things get tricky. She may not understand this change immediately. She might question why you're no longer catering to her needs, why you're no longer chasing after her attention, and why your presence feels so much more powerful. And in that confusion, she starts to see something that wasn't there before. She starts to respect you. She starts to feel the strength you've cultivated within yourself. The secret to all of this is simple. Stay rooted in your peace and self-control. The more you display your inner strength through your actions and emotional independence, the more respect you will earn, not just from her, but from everyone around you. When you no longer react emotionally, when you hold your ground with calm assurance, that's when people begin to respect you. Respect is not earned through words or grand gestures. It's earned through the power of your presence, the quiet strength that you radiate, and the more you focus on cultivating that peace within yourself, the more you will attract respect, not just from her, but from everyone who encounters you. Take a moment to reflect. What part of me is still seeking validation from others? How can I move towards true emotional independence? Recognize where you're still holding on to external approval and commit to letting that go. The peace you seek starts within you. 5. Balancing the power dynamic. Why you must remain unshakable. Real power isn't controlling her. It's controlling yourself. That's the truth most men overlook. They think influence comes from persuasion, pressure, or constantly proving their worth. But the moment you stop reacting to her, the moment you reclaim authority over your emotions, you gain the ability to influence her in ways you never thought possible. The real shift happens when you stop letting her dictate the rhythm of your inner world. It's tempting to chase her, to demand answers, or to beg for closure. Those impulses come from fear of losing her, fear of the unknown, fear of being forgotten. But that's not how power works. Power comes when you're not chasing, when you're standing firm in your own truth, when you're rooted in something deeper than her approval. The quieter and steadier you become, the more magnetic your presence grows. There will be moments when she tests you. She might withdraw, watching from a distance to see if you'll panic or come running after her. She may act cold or distant, just to see whether her absence still hurts you. These moments are not random. They're emotional pressure points designed to reveal where your confidence truly stands. Your response in those moments is critical. It determines whether you maintain your frame or slip back into old patterns that once gave her emotional power over you. If you give in to the temptation to chase, explain, or prove yourself, you lose. You hand her back the influence you worked so hard to reclaim. But if you stay calm, stay grounded, and let her feel the distance without rushing to close the gap, you regain control. You show her cool, without saying a word, that you are no longer the man who bends under emotional pressure. She senses that shift immediately. And in that space, she begins to wonder why the old patterns no longer work on you. The solution is simple, but not easy. Stay anchored in your values. Make your peace more important than her drama. Make your purpose bigger than her attention. When she sees that your world doesn't revolve around her, that your emotional weather no longer changes based on her mood, she feels something she hasn't felt in a long time: respect. And respect is the foundation of real attraction. When you master this balance, you no longer need to prove anything. You become the calm in the room, the steady presence she can't shake. She will come to respect your composure, your consistency, and the quiet confidence you carry. Next time she tests your patience, take a deep breath and ask yourself, how can I maintain my own rhythm without letting her disturb it? Because the man who protects his peace is the man no one can control. 6. Rebuilding the connection without losing your frame. Rebuilding a connection isn't about reviving the past. It's about creating something new, something grounded in who you've become, not who you used to be. This is where most men get trapped. They fall back into old dynamics, old habits, old emotional patterns, believing that reconnecting means repeating what once felt familiar. But if you want a connection that's healthy and lasting, you can't return to the version of yourself who once lost control. You have to rebuild from scratch. She didn't come back because she missed the old you. She came back because of the new man you've become, the man who stopped chasing, who reclaimed his self-respect, who rediscovered his center. But here's the danger. The moment she reappears, the old emotional impulses can wake up. The desire to please, the urge to secure her affection, the instinct to fall back into the role you once played. If you give in to the temptation to show her the old you, the one who was emotionally dependent, you'll lose the power you worked so hard to build. And whether she says it or not, she's watching you closely. She wants to know if you're still the man who fell apart when she pulled away, or if you're now the man who holds his ground even in the presence of his desire. She's studying your reactions, your pace, your energy, your willingness to bend. Don't make her feel like you're waiting for her permission to breathe again. When she senses that you're still dependent on her attention, the dynamic collapses instantly. Attraction fades. Respect dissolves. The key is simple. Let your actions show her you're not the same man she left. You don't have to explain your evolution. You don't have to prove you've changed. Explanation is weak. Demonstration is powerful. Speak less and live more. Be warm but not reactive. Be kind but not accommodating. Be present but not dependent. Show her a man who can stand on his own and still choose to share space with her, not a man who clings out of fear. When you rebuild the connection, do it from a place of strength, not desperation. Let every interaction reflect the inner work you've done. Let your silence communicate your standards. Let your pace reflect your boundaries. The right woman will feel safer around a man who moves with purpose rather than need. And if she's meant to stay, she'll lean in. Not because you chased her, but because she respects the man you are now. Take a moment and ask yourself, what would it look like if I built a connection from a place of strength rather than fear of losing someone? The answer to that question will determine the kind of relationship you allow into your life and the kind of man you continue becoming. 7. Knowing when to let her back in and when to walk away. Not every return is a chance to reconcile. Some returns are just tests. The question isn't whether you feel the pull when she comes back. It's whether you can resist the urge to fall into old patterns. You have to ask yourself, is she truly ready to meet you where you are now, or is she just trying to settle back into the comfort she once had? You've become a man who values his peace. That's the key. The question now is she coming back because she respects the changes you've made, because she sees the strength and transformation in you? Or is she simply coming back because she wants the reassurance, the comfort, or the familiarity that she once had? This is where the test begins, and it's critical you don't confuse her return with a desire for real connection. It's tempting, I know, to let her back in simply because she's there. She's showing up. She's reaching out. The old emotions rise to the surface, and you feel like you might have a chance to make things right. But here's the harsh truth. Real power is knowing when to walk away, even when you still care. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for her is to let her go again. When you stay grounded in your transformation, you show her that your life no longer revolves around her, and that's when true respect can begin to grow. She will test your boundaries. She may try to get close again to see if you're still the same man who would bend over backward for her, the man who would drop everything to please her. If you allow yourself to fall into those old patterns, if you let her slip back into the space where she once controlled your emotions, you will lose everything you've gained. All the progress you've made, the peace, the strength, the independence, will be for nothing. So, let her back in only when she matches your effort. Let her back in when she shows that she respects your new boundaries, when she acknowledges your growth. Don't let her back in simply because you miss her. That's not enough. She needs to show that she's ready to walk beside you, not behind you. Walking away from something that no longer serves you is the ultimate act of power. It's not about rejection or being bitter. It's about protecting your peace. You've built something stronger than the old relationship, a foundation of self-respect, emotional clarity, and calm. Don't give that up. Ask yourself, is this relationship in alignment with who I've become? Is it helping me grow, or is it holding me back? If the answer is no, then the power is in your hands to walk away. Can you do it? Can you walk away with peace, knowing that you've grown beyond what was? Because when you can, brother, you will know true freedom. Stay grounded. Stay true to your evolution. And remember, sometimes the most powerful move is walking away, not because you don't care, but because you care about your peace more than anything else. Brother, remember this. True power isn't about control or manipulation. It's about mastering yourself. When she comes back, don't rush. Stand firm in your peace. You've already won the battle, not by chasing her, but by choosing to remain grounded in who you are. Your silence speaks louder than any words ever could. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to let go in order to regain control? In the comments, write this truth. Peace over reaction. And let me know how you've learned to choose your own strength over emotional chaos. If you found value in this video, hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Station, and join us on this journey towards true emotional sovereignty. Remember, the man who walks away in peace is the one who can never be forgotten.